This podcast is part of the Podcast Your Scene Network. Visit us at www.podcastyourscene.com.
You know, the local media has an agenda that they're going to serve. I don't know who's in charge of it or what it is, if it's like a headless monster.
Why? This is a question.
Walking backwards.
Yeah.
Something
I
sacred.
don't know the names of the Creep songs. Those are
Running in
CDs you
circles.
Just pop in and let play.
Sea of Glass.
The flight and the fall.
I love Ozzy. I think he's the true definition of a rock star.
So get off by your speakers.
Anybody else have any interesting stories they don't want on the show?
This is Doug from After the Fall. Hey, this is John Lane from the thriving metropolis of Leechburg, Pennsylvania.
The Pennsylvania Rock Show, featuring the best unsigned rock that Pennsylvania has to offer.
Let's go.
Hey, it's Bill, and you're tuned in the Pennsylvania Rock Show, featuring the best unsigned rock and metal that Pennsylvania has to offer, right here on PARockshow.com, xrpradio.co.uk out of Scotland, Rootaroo Radio on the beaches of San Diego, California, music from the 412 on the Pittsburgh TV and radio, oldiesxl.com in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, buildascene.com right here in the thriving metropolis of Leechburg, Pennsylvania. And in St. Louis, we have megarockradio.net and 107.1 FM. This is episode number 659 of the Pennsylvania Rock Show. With me tonight is Mikey Massacre. What's up, Mikey?
Hey. Oh, man, I wish you had me on for episode 666. That would have been perfect.
See, I got a message about 3 weeks ago from somebody going, does anybody have that one yet?
Had I known I was connected.
It's Utah Burgess from Shady Lady Studio and 97.7 The Rock Show's The Grassroots 97.7 FM Butler's The Grassroots Show and the Band Jam and Noble Hops and all kinds of stuff. He's all over the place. Anyway, he claimed it. So he's 666.
Nice.
Nobody has 665 yet, though. Hey, Mikey. So the last time you visited me, you were on 3 Questions and a Song.
Yeah.
And we featured, it was
Struggle City.
That's it. And it was a conversation you had with your therapist, if I remember correctly. That kind of brought that song on.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Irradiated Dream, I think is that
Irradiated Dreams. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the new one.
So we're going to talk about that a little bit later, but you are a session guitarist, and you do your own stuff as well. What have you been up to since I talked to you last?
Actually, quite a bit. So far, February's been pretty busy for me. So this past Sunday, I actually performed live with my friend. He has a solo act called Christopher Ardra, and he hired me to do guitar for his live performance, and that was fun. And then I'm also in the process of working on writing and recording guitar parts for an album that a client of mine is working on. Don't really know if I could say too much about it right now, but it's taking up a lot of my time lately, and it's fun. He's given me a lot of freedom to kind of come up with my own stuff, and he's really fun to work with. So that's pretty much been occupying my time in February, and then I've had some sporadic projects here and there, but the ball is really starting to roll, especially since the last time we spoke. So that's good.
Cool. Right at the beginning of the show, the live portion of the show, I had the Dressy Entertainment website up. I'm going to go ahead and share that again real fast. Just going to give me a second to pull it back up. Here it is. So if I can figure out where it went. There it is. All right, so this is a March 4th show with Everclear and the Delaney's at Jurgles. And this is the show that we're going to give tickets away to from Music from 412 and Dressing Entertainment on next week's episode. Tonight, about halfway through, we're going to be giving away 2 tickets to Enough's Enough with the Xander Damos Band, which is this Thursday. But I did want to throw that up there and mention it before I forgot. And also, because I'm really good at forgetting, at the beginning of the show, I played Silk 9, Tear Me Down. And then we also heard Super Monkey's song, Elisa Bonita. And now we're hanging out with Mikey. So I think we talked about the poster in the background too. I remember that.
The Fantastic Four one.
Yeah. So, I know you do a lot of writing. We had that conversation. And Irradiated Dream has come out, but what else do you have on the horizon?
So actually, believe it or not, Irradiated Dreams is actually the last single / personal project I really have on tap for a while. And I'm really just focusing a lot of my energy and efforts moving forward on kind of finding more clients and session work. And then, of course, if inspiration strikes and I get an idea for a new song or single, I'll obviously start working on that. But right now, my slate is kind of clean. I do have some instrumental songs I've been working on here and there. And I think probably over the summer, when I compile enough, I'm probably going to release another compilation. I'm going to call it Limitless Composer 2. It's going to be another instrumental album that kind of showcases a collection of different genres I create. And I figure probably by summertime I'll have enough songs to kind of make an album with that.
How many have you released full albums before, or are you one of those people that does the demo?
Mainly I release singles. I did release Limitless Composer 1. It came out actually a year ago this month. And that was, I think, 23 songs of just all instrumentals, spanning through a bunch of different genres. It was basically like a collection of songs I created since I started my solo music production journey in the summer of 2018 up until the end of 2021. So it was almost 3 years worth of material that I kind of just jumbled up and threw on an album together. And then I'm probably going to do that again sometime this summer. The only thing is right now I have maybe 7 songs. So I'm waiting for me to kind of write a little bit more, maybe at least 10 or 11, and then make an album. One of the songs I'm actually going to be featuring on that is a song I did for a client who's working on an animated series, and he hired me to create an intro song for him over the summer, which is actually something I've always wanted to do. So I created a little 45-second tune for him, and I'm actually going to put that on my album too, just to kind of use it as a portfolio piece. And it's a fun song. It's only 45 seconds, but I really enjoy it.
So intros for animation, session work, your own work. Is there anything that you haven't gotten to do yet that you really, really
yes,
like you would sell your soul to the devil to get?
Yeah, actually, a lot of these songs that I create, I try to create for the purpose of having them be used as a theme song for a professional wrestler. And I haven't quite landed one of those just yet, but I'm hoping to soon, hopefully sometime this year. Obviously not in one of the bigger companies like AEW or WWE. They have their own music guys, but I'm looking for one of the more independent, local companies. And there are a ton of them out there, and they're all looking for music. I've spoken to a few wrestlers and a few promoters about it. Nothing has panned out quite yet, but it'll happen eventually.
We have a band here called Shattered, and their lead singer is a wrestler.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
And then there's Ghost of the Day. Their guitarist / singer used to be a wrestler.
That's so cool. Yeah, I mean, I've never wrestled, but I love wrestling. I grew up watching it, so I'd love to contribute it to it in a way that's not actually wrestling. So that's creating songs for the wrestlers.
If I remember, you have a couple demo songs for intros.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
you?
I have about 3 of them that I made. One of them is called Power Bomb. Another one is called Lionheart, and then I just created one a few months ago called Thrill Seeker. And they're just instrumental hard rock, heavy metal songs that I've created, like about 2 to 3 minutes long. I uploaded them on YouTube. Actually, Powerbomb has over 11,000 views on YouTube, which is pretty cool. It's the most views I have on any of my videos. What I did was I just synced them up to some current pro wrestler highlights, just to kind of like spice it up. I don't want to just put a song out there with no video to it. So the only problem though is that sometimes people won't read the description in the video. The description in the video clearly says, I'm only using this wrestler as an example. And some people misconstrue it and think that I actually made the song for that pro wrestler, but I'm just using it as like an example of what I can do. So there's a little bit of confusion there, but yeah.
So if anyone is out there that would be interested in an intro song, how can they get a hold of you?
They can go to my website, mikeymassacre.com. Shout out to my website manager, Andy, by the way. I think he's watching this. They could also, my link tree, there you go. That has pretty much everything. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, everywhere. Just type in my name on Google, like Mikey Massacre with a Y, not an I. And
MYKEY.
that's right.
Yeah.
And you can pretty much find me anywhere. I'm very easy to get a hold of, and I'm very responsive. Like I'll respond to you quickly.
So this is probably the first I've gone into an interview without asking one of my odd questions.
Oh yeah, let's go.
I know I asked you the pizza question last time, right?
You did. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember you asked me a question about pizza.
It was just the best pizza you've had because you're a musician, but you're from New York, right?
I am from New York, yeah.
So that should be a difficult question for you.
Not really, actually.
Do you have one that sticks out?
Yes, there's actually 2. So actually,
Okay.
You're going to be shocked to hear this one. I'm actually not much of a pizza fan, believe it or not. But there's a local place a few blocks from me that's been around since the 60s. It's called Da Vinci. I like Da Vinci pizza. And then there's a place a few miles from me called L&B Spumoni Gardens. And they're actually kind of famous. People who don't live in New York City know about them. I really like their pizza a lot. It's very soft and doughy. I love that.
So if pizza's not your thing, what's your go-to after a gig? When you
Chinese food.
Oh,
I love it. It's my favorite. I can eat it every day.
My first memory of eating Chinese was in Long Island. I was like 8 at my uncle's house.
All right, that's cool.
I remember it was delivered, and I'm pretty sure it's the first time I remember eating it. And this is going to sound odd, but my favorite Chinese food is always from a mall.
Yeah, I'm done with that. Yeah, like Master Walk and stuff like that. Stuff is good.
Yeah, I had Famous Walk Saturday.
Nice. Yeah, I'm down with that stuff, man. I love that. Hell yeah.
My all-time favorite, if you ever go there, Sandusky Mall has a famous walk in it.
Okay.
And that's my favorite. That's where Cedar Point is for anyone who's not sure where I'm talking about.
I'm not sure where that is, but if I'm ever there, I'll definitely.
It's on Lake Erie in Ohio.
Oh, okay. That's a bit of a journey.
Yes. I lived there for a summer. I don't recommend it.
Okay. Gotcha.
Because I lived there at Cedar Point, which is an amusement park, and I worked 6 days a week, like 14 hours a day.
Yikes.
It was not fun.
Yeah, it doesn't sound fun.
If you could write a song with any other musician in the world or history of the world, who would you want to write with?
Good question. Well, I guess I'd probably have to go with my idol, my guitar idol, my musical idol, and that's Glenn Tipton of Judas Priest. He's probably my biggest inspiration when it comes to songwriting, guitar playing. So, I mean, it would just be really cool to say I wrote a song with Glenn Tipton on a personal level because he's my idol.
Cool. If you could take guitar lessons from anyone, who would you want to hang out with and take lessons from?
Paul Gilbert of Racer X and Mr. Big, because he's just like from another world. I would love to just watch him play and see how he tries to get a student to play what he just played. I wonder if he's able to like convey a message to like somebody who's not as good as him and see if they can get it done halfway as decent as he does.
So when I was in New York last, I drove past the Garden and I was on a tour and I was like, I was excited. I thought we were going to stop. And all they did was say, and to your right is Madison Square Garden. And we kept going.
The end. I might have actually been on the street when that tour bus passed.
What is a major venue that you would like to play at?
That's a good question. I mean, I guess Madison Square Garden. I mean, I'm from New York. It's the biggest arena in the world. I mean, it just kind of just makes sense. That'd be kind of cool. And the Knicks play there, and the Knicks are my favorite basketball team. So, I mean, that speaks for itself. Why I would love to play there.
Maybe you should try and play the national anthem for the Knicks.
For the Knicks, right? That'd be sick. That'd be the best of both worlds combining, right? I didn't even think of that.
I'm sure there's some way to apply for that, but I don't know how.
I might just have to look into that.
That's your homework.
That's my homework for 2023. All right, I'm on it.
Okay. Another thing that I plan on doing that I almost forgot. I'm wearing Scale t-shirt today. I actually had a Scale skull cap on earlier. They recently won the Iron City Rocks Best Metal Band of Pittsburgh Award for 2023. And I wanted to mention that. When I had the Scale hat on, I was at a grocery store and someone was like, "Hey, that's Bones' band." I'm like, "Well, he's not in that band anymore, but he's in Dimwit, so you can check out Dimwit also." But that's what made me think about mentioning it today. So then I went and put the shirt on and it's like, I'm going to remember. And I almost didn't.
Good thing you could see yourself on camera.
That's exactly what happened. I looked down and saw the L's. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a break. And during the break, we're going to listen to your song, Irradiated Dreams, but we're also going to listen to Yigga Digga's song, Bone Crackin' Magic. Can you give me a quick synopsis of what your track is about?
Yeah, so actually it was inspired by the whole turmoil that's going on in the Ukraine right now. And just hearing all this talks about nuclear weapons and all that stuff. And it kind of inspired me to write it. And it's actually I know for a fact up till now, it's the only politically charged song I ever wrote. And it probably will be the only politically charged song I ever do write because that's not really my vibe. But it really struck a chord with me, what was going on there. And I started writing the song. And this one actually features my brother on vocals. I don't sing on this one. My brother does. And he was the old singer of our old band, Tragedy Awaits Us. So this is kind of like a little reunion for us. So I'm excited to kind of get his voice out there to the masses. And the really cool thing about this is it drops on February 24th. And I was doing some research the other day, and it turns out the day Russia invaded Ukraine last year happened to be February 24th. And I didn't know that when I set the release date. It just happened to work out that way.
And that's also when this show will be released for radio and podcast, February 24th.
Exactly.
So I kind of get to release the song on the release date, on the anniversary of what it's written about. That's
exactly.
Cool. All right, so we're going to take a moment. We're going to listen to Yigga Digga, Bone Crackin' Magic, and Mikey Massacre, Irradiated Dreams. And those of you watching the video, you're actually going to get to watch me give away some tickets and a concert calendar. The music will be in the podcast version. So as I mentioned, we're going to take a little break here, but there is a matter of enough's enough tickets that we need to give away courtesy of Drusky Entertainment and Music from the 412. We only had 3 people follow through with all of the things that had to be done, so I want to explain it again. What you're going to do is find the post that will be posted at 9:30 p.m. tonight. You will share it, tag Music from the 412 and Drusky Entertainment, and then there's a link in there that you need to click, and you need to send Rocky, also known as Anthony Lamondi, your email address so that if you win, we can get you set up with those tickets as they come in your mailbox. With that said, there were 3 people who followed through with everything. I'm going to go ahead and bring them up on the screen. They are Kevin Cowan, Bill Munns, and Thomas Trainer. I'm going to go ahead and click and spin and see who is going to be our winner for those tickets for Enough's Enough with Xander Damos Band this Thursday. And the winner is Bill Munns. So, Bill, you'll be receiving an email with information on how to go ahead and, I believe, download and print your tickets. With that said, make sure you look for that post later on tonight on Music from the 412's Facebook page, facebook.com/Music from the 412. We're going to watch the concert calendar next, and I'll be back with some more questions for Mikey Massacre. What's up, everyone? It's Bill from FirstAngelMedia.com, BuildAScene.com, and of course, MusicFromThe412.com. And this is your concert calendar for week 4 of February and week 1 of March. You can see some of the flyers up above my head if they decide to start scrolling. Having a little bit of an internet issue tonight. We're going to work our way through it. I do want to start out by pointing out this new section on the right-hand side there. Those are the shows that we're giving away tickets to in partnership with Drusky Entertainment. This week was Enough is Enough with the Xander Damos Band. Next week, we're giving away tickets to Everclear with the Delaney's. And the following week, the Lax. It's very easy to take your chance at that. All you have to do is go to our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Music from the 412. Look for the post about the ticket giveaway. Share it. Tag both Music from the 412 and Drusky Entertainment. And then there's a link in that post that you need to click on, which will pop up a direct message to Anthony Lamondi, also known as Rocky. And you need to send your email address to him, because if you do happen to win, the tickets are going to be sent to you via email and they'll appear in your mailbox. With that said, let's go ahead and get started with that Enough's Enough show that I mentioned with the Xander Damos Band. That's at the Hard Rock Cafe in Pittsburgh with a Drusky Entertainment show. 7:30 p.m. start time, $14 to $16 will get you through that door. On the 24th, we have the Cheats, Modern Fossils, and Dicro at Black Forge Coffee House. That is a 6 p.m. start time, $10 at the door. At the Squirrel Sports Bar, also on the 24th, we have the Pittsburgh Piping Society. That is a bagpipe meet and greet, 7:30 p.m. start time. At Heroes Bar and Grill in Katanning, we have their Friday open mic series. The host of this one will be Jason Cirencioni. It is a 7:30 p.m. start time. On the 25th, Back the Blue, which is a benefit concert. It starts at 2 p.m. It's $15 to get you in the door. That is at the AK Valley Park Event Center, incorporated in New Kensington, Pennsylvania. It will be featuring 13 Stories, Present Tense, Curtis and the Shakers, A Common Crown, Risen to Save, Missing Link, The Knockoffs, and Big House Pete. That's a lot of local music for that $15. Also on the 25th, we have Dominic at the Bridge Music Bar. It's a 5 p.m. start time. On March 3rd, we go back to the Heroes Bar and Grill in Katanning for their Friday open mic series. That one is hosted by Corey Brocious, also a 7:30 p.m. start time. On March 4th, Hicks and Heathens, which is Dinner Bell Road and a Common Crown. That is at the Lindora Hotel. It's a $10 start time, $10 fee, 7 p.m. start time. That show, if I heard correctly, I believe the 50/50 will benefit Rock for Life concert series. You can find out about that concert series at rockforlifeconcert.com. On the 4th as well, we have Bill Toms and Hard Rain at Rivers Casino. 9 p.m. start time for that. Some other things I want to mention is we added a new submission page to our website. If you go to contact and click on submission form, as I mentioned, my internet is really slow, so I'm going to keep talking while it's loading. You can submit to videos to Music from the 412. You can submit music to Music from the 412's radio station. You can submit to our concert calendar, which might get you on this segment. You can submit to the Pennsylvania Rock Show to be featured live here on Mondays. You can also submit to be involved in Space Bat Productions Presents. And we also have 10band.tv there on the end, where you can send your music to be featured on their TV station. This has been the concert calendar for week 4 of February and week 1 of March. My name is Bill, and I will see you next week. Okay, so we are back, and with me tonight is Mikey Massacre. The little short break there. Okay, it was a little long.
I mean, my song is kind of long, so.
So Bill Munns won tickets to Enough's Enough and the Xander Damos Band, which is this Thursday at the Hard Rock Cafe, I believe. And next week we're giving away tickets to Everclear and the Delaney's. So make sure you check that out. We just heard from Yiga Digga and their song Bone Crackin' Magic. And then we heard Mikey's song Irradiated Dreams. And we have some more questions for Mikey and then some more music for you guys to check out. But before we do that, he mentioned his website person. So I'm going to do something. I'm going to show the website.
Ooh. We just updated it, but those are new pictures I took a few weeks ago.
Are those bats on your head?
Yeah, I got tattoos of bats on my head. You can't see it now because the hair's growing in. Well, you can see it a little bit actually. The hair's growing in because I can't shave my head for a few weeks to let it heal. So I put the bandana on because I don't like when the hair grows in. I don't like the way it looks.
They kind of look like Batman's
the Batarang.
Yeah,
they do.
Most people here don't know I have this really cool painting, Batman painting, hanging in my classroom. I wish I could remember the artist's name. She is in a local band. I can't think of her name, but it's hanging in my classroom.
That's awesome.
I'll have to take a picture of it and show it sometime. But so this is Mikey's website.
That's the animated series song I was telling you about. It's called.
I would love to press play, but then they'll mute us. So
go
to his website to check it out. And there's some of the songs. There's Thrill Seeker that he was talking about earlier.
Yep.
Lionheart. Struggle City that was on 3 Questions in a Song recently.
Yep, there it is.
All right, so I'm going to get my cursor back over the correct computer. There we go. A lot of different things going on now that I'm live on Music from the 412, trying to keep up with the concert calendar, keeping things up on the screen at the correct times, like putting those logos back up. So how about like movie scores? Are you interested in doing that?
Yeah. I mean, sure, if the opportunity came along. I mean, I feel like most movie scores aren't really going to like look for kind of like a metal type producer, but I mean, yeah, I mean, if the opportunity came along, that'd be fantastic.
I mean, yeah, Elton John on why am I blanking on the name of the movie? It's The Circle of Life. What's that in? Lion King.
Lion King. Yeah.
And then you had Aerosmith on Armageddon.
Yeah.
That whole thing is them.
Yeah,
It's not really metal, but
It's actually a funny story about the Aerosmith. So Aerosmith and Journey were competing for that main song. Journey had a song called "Remember Me," and my friend growing up, his dad was the singer of Journey at the time. So who lived across the street from me. So when Aerosmith won the, I guess the placement, like everyone in like my family and my whole circle, we were all kind of devastated because we were all rooting for Journey because our friends sang for Journey at the time. So like we all kind of took it personally. So whenever I hear that Aerosmith song, I kind of get like agitated.
What is something that's happened to you while you're performing that was kind of embarrassing?
Well, good timing of this question because as we're doing this interview, I just performed live yesterday for like the second time in over 10 years. But nothing embarrassing happened, thankfully. I guess a lot of times during sound check, I usually have to bend down a lot, to maybe adjust my pedals or something. And, I wear tight pants and I have shirts that are cut up relatively high. So, I always get nervous that like my ass crack is showing, which it usually is. But I get extra nervous that somebody's like taking a picture of it or videotaping it, which if they are, I've yet to see it. But that's always something that goes through my head. Anytime I'm on stage and my back is towards the audience. We'll see if I find anything from last night, at least.
Where'd you play at last night?
Yeah, so there's a venue in Lower Manhattan called Arlene's Grocery. We played there, and that's actually the second time I played there because I also performed with this band in November. So this was my second performance with them, and he's actually trying to do another one in the summer, and he's trying to get it at a bigger venue, the Gramercy Theater, which is like in Midtown. And that'd be sick if I got the opportunity to play there because I've been there to see a lot of bigger and well-known bands. So if I could actually play there once, that'd be cool. Even though it's like not like my own band, but still, just through the fact that I could have played there, period, is awesome.
If you were going on tour
Mhm.
and I was driving your tour bus, what music am I going to play in between stops?
I am very much into smooth jazz. I love to listen to smooth jazz. It relaxes me. So either that or we'd be playing some like real old school video game songs that I grew up listening to, like Sonic the Hedgehog, Street Fighter, Streets of Rage, Castlevania, Mega Man, stuff like that. Chances are it would not be music that I create because like I listen to that so much making it, and sometimes I just want to break from it. So it'd probably be something in a completely different direction. So it'd probably be either like retro video game music or smooth jazz, or a lot of times I just like silence too, believe it or not.
I really thought that I was a lot older than you until you started rattling off the songs.
Well, I mean, I'm 33, so
I'm 46. I am kind of older
oh
than
yeah,
you. But yeah, I played all those games.
yeah. I was like 3 though when they came out.
Yeah, I was not.
Yeah, I love those games. I did grow up with them. Literally grew up with them.
So what's your favorite console then?
Probably the Sega Genesis. That's the console. That was my first console. And that was my exposure to Street Fighter, Sonic, Mortal Kombat. Which I love Mortal Kombat. So I'd probably have to say the Sega Genesis. I'm not much of a gamer these days. I much prefer the simpler 2D games than all this like 3D open world stuff. That's just way too much for me. So I'm gonna go with the Sega Genesis. That's my system.
I spent a lot of time playing NHL, like NHL 93 on the Sega Genesis.
I had NHL 95, but I never actually played it. So like I got it for Christmas. My dad is like big into hockey, so he always wanted me and my brother to get into hockey. So I guess one Christmas they got us NHL 95, but we weren't into sports at all as a kid, my brother and I. So we just never played it at all.
There were times that I would get home from school and my best friend and I would play it, and like we Friday night. We'd be playing it
For
at 2 o'clock
hours.
in the morning.
Yeah.
Like we started when we got home, and
Yeah. That was me with other games for sure, like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of hockey, the Islanders are currently beating the Penguins 3-2 in the third period, and I don't like it.
Oh, how ironic that we're doing this interview today, and the team from, well, kind of where I am is battling.
Yeah.
Where you
The
are.
Penguins were up 2-1, and I looked up, it's 3-2. I have no idea what happened.
Oh, I think I jinxed it. Sorry.
Nah, they've been playing very poorly lately.
Oh, okay. All right.
So if you could, I mentioned playing for the national anthem for the Knicks.
Yeah.
Where else might you want to play like a national anthem?
Oh boy. I hate to not give you an answer, but I don't know if I have an answer for that. Sorry.
How about this?
Okay.
Our sporting or AT&T Sports is who plays the Pirates and the Penguins here in Pittsburgh, and they sometimes have local musicians, like they play their music to the highlights.
Oh, that's awesome.
So who would you like your music to be doing the highlights for?
When I first started my journey as a solo producer, one of my goals was to get all of my songs synced up to the NFL Red Zone. And I would still love that. So no specific team, but just that channel. Because they always play songs in the background. I hear them, I pay attention. And they sound like music I create. So a lot of my inspiration came from those NFL Red Zone background songs I heard. So I'd love to hear one of mine on that one day.
Just in a face I just made wasn't your answer. It's now 4-2.
Oh, damn. I guess I am a jinx. Sorry. That was quick.
Yeah, they're not playing well. If you could play at a non-standard venue, like Kiss played to Great White Sharks, Metallica played in Antarctica,
yeah,
where would you want to play?
Pluto. Definitely. Pluto's always my favorite planet. I know they took it out of the planets. It's a dwarf planet, but it'll always be a planet to me. Actually, no, I take it back. I want to play on the rings of Saturn. That'd be badass. Just like spinning around the whole planet. That'd be sick. Rings of Saturn. That's where I want to play.
Did they just score again?
5-2?
I think it might be. They're definitely celebrating. No, the game ended. Oi.
Good thing I'm not a hockey fan.
Ooh, I think someone may get. We're getting comments, but
oh wow,
great stream, fellas. And then Nightmare Guitar. Do you know who that is?
I do not, but he's looking at me and pointing at me,
Yes.
or perhaps you.
Not sure.
That's what it looks like.
He looks like he could be in a band with you, though.
It does. Yeah.
All right, so 2 more quick questions for you, and then I'm going to let you go.
All right.
What do you have coming up next?
So again, Radiated Dreams is coming up Friday. That's like the next big thing I got. Then after that, I am doing a collaboration with my friend from Chile. We recorded the song a while ago. We just haven't released it yet. Haven't figured out when we're going to release it, but it's probably going to be sometime in the spring.
Yeah. And where can people find you online?
Instagram, Mikey Massacre. Facebook, Mikey Massacre. And I also have a personal profile. It's under Michael Anthony, but in parentheses, it's Mikey Massacre. So if you type in Mikey Massacre, you should be able to find both profiles. I'm on TikTok, same, Mikey Massacre. YouTube, Mikey Massacre. My website, mikeymassacre.com. Spotify, Apple Music, all those places. I'm there. Just the key is to spell it with a Y and not an I. It's M-Y. Well, it says it right there on my. There we go.
Other side, but yes. I want to thank you for hanging out with me on episode 659 in Pennsylvania Rock Show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And I just want to give a quick shout out to the people over at XRP, which you introduced me to. They've, especially the people at the Horny Rock Show, they've been very helpful for getting my audience out to a bigger, my music out to a bigger audience. So I appreciate you and them. So thank you guys.
So I am going to play the outro, and then I'm going to play some videos for those of you that are going to stick around on Music from 412. Make sure you join us next week for episode 660 when Thorica will be joining me. And don't forget to take your chance at the tickets for Everclear and the Delaney's at Jurgles on March 4th by going to Music from the 412's Facebook page. My name has been Bill, and this has been episode number 659.
This podcast is part of the Podcast Your Scene Network. Visit us at www.podcastyourscene.com.
The local media has an agenda that they're going to serve. I don't know who's in charge of it or what it is, if it's like a headless monster.
Why?
This episode of the Pennsylvania Rock Show has ended, but be sure to subscribe to be introduced to more of the best on-sign rock and metal that Pennsylvania has to offer. Don't forget to rate and review the show, and we'll see you on the next episode.